Okay, so today I want to talk about pre-1911 dwellings because I feel like recently there has been a massive pendulum shift from one extreme to the other. I remember it felt like only a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, where I was just constantly hitting my head against a brick wall, struggling to get people to understand or appreciate the importance of identifying a dwelling that was built before 1911 in the TBC overlay up front because it had so many flow-on consequences for the design, all of that sort of stuff. Anyway, recently there's two site meetings in particular the last week or so where I've been out to West End and what's the other one? Anyway, irrelevant. I've been out to two site meetings recently where I've basically turned up and the neighbours, sorry, not the neighbours, the owners and the design professional has just been like, oh my God, we've got a pre-1911 house, our lives are over, the design's screwed, there's nothing we can do right. And I'm like, oh, that's a little bit dramatic. No, that's not the case. So, yeah, we've gone from me being like, guys, you've got to pick these buildings up early because they can impact the design to everyone thinking they're heritage listed, you cannot even touch them. So I want to use this week's video to kind of clarify what, in super duper simple terms, having a pre-1911 house means when it's in the TBC overlay. In short, pre-1911 is exactly the same as pre-1947 in the TBC overlay, except the demolition beyond the highest and rearmost ridge exemption, aka the exemption that typically allows you to remove the rear half of the house, except on corner lots, etc., does not apply if it's a pre-1911 house. So you trigger a town planning application if you want to do any external demolition work on the rear half of the house to original components and all of that sort of stuff. Now, back in the old days, when I say the old days, like a year, maybe a little bit longer ago, council was super duper uber protective of pre-1911 components of the rear half of the house, in particular those rear lean-to roof forms. But we have seen a shift within council. There's now an acknowledgement, let's just say, that those rear lean-to roof forms do not contribute to the streetscape character, and hence they're not an integral feature that needs to be retained, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, you trigger a DA, but now there is a softening and a more, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're basically more open to demolition work at the rear. So it suddenly doesn't completely change the design, just means you got to jump through a few extra hoops. But let's be real, these days, everyone's lodging DAs because everyone wants that extra little bit more. So it's not like it's the difference between a DA and no DA. It's just an extra component in a DA. So yeah, back in the old days, it was a lot more dramatic. These days, it's not as dramatic. You can basically treat them like pre-47 houses, just with a little bit of extra triggers involved, or a few more triggers involved. That's essentially what it is. Okay, I think that covers up everything I want to talk about today. As I always like to say, until next time, thanks for watching.
For all you red tape lovers out there, I have one thing to say. Well, no, actually, I've got three. Number one, the advice provided in these videos is general in nature. It's not site-specific. You would be a silly Billy to go and make financial decisions based on this advice without first checking with the town planner. Don't be a silly Billy. Number two, Brisbane town planning is in no way linked to Brisbane City Council. The views expressed in these videos are my own, not council's. So if you don't like them, blame me, not council. Number three, what was my number three? Oh yeah, the views expressed in these videos are accurate at the time of recording. If you're watching this video back 10 years from now, the views may not be so accurate. That's all.